My name is Lindsay Augustiniak, and I'm a freshman here at Kent State. I grew up going to a Christian school from kindergarten to 12th grade, and I always felt like I was a Christian, memorizing Bible verses and going to chapel and doing morning devotions. And it's much easier, when you're surrounded by people who believe the same thing as you. And once I came to college, I realized how important it is to really rely on God. As adversity continued to come into my life, I learned to come to God with all my troubles and concerns. And when I came to Kent, I was lucky enough to find a life group where I was able to build amazing relationships with some brothers and sisters in Christ. It's a great feeling knowing you don't have to go through everything alone. And I always love the saying, it's a relationship, not a religion. And I think that's something that's easily forgotten. And today, I want to publicly display my love for God and my growing relationship with Him.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a junior at Kent State, and I'm majoring in exercise science. So I had a boyfriend at the time. Our relationship wasn't based around God at all. We dated for 4 years on and off, and at the end of which I became pregnant and he wanted an abortion. My life was a complete mess at the time. I wasn't seeking God for guidance, and I had no plan. I felt alone in my entire life. But with the help of my family and friends and probably God, without me realizing, I decided to place the baby for adoption. And that was definitely the hardest decision I've ever had to make. So I applied and got accepted to Kent State in 2012, and I started here in the fall. So it was a pretty quick transition from everything I had just gone through to starting over at age 21. I went to a lot of parties and made a lot of bad decisions that whole first semester. I thought this was a really good way to live because I was having fun and nobody was getting hurt. When my sister would call me and try to talk to me about my life and help me out with decisions, I'd just tell her that I was living in the moment and I was making up for lost time. The day that I actually decided to turn my life around was on November 21st, 2012. I had received a call from my brother-in-law that day right after work, telling me that my sister had just passed away in a car accident. If I would have died in that car accident that day instead of my sister, I can't say that I would have gone to heaven. The thought of that terrified me on a level so deep I can't even explain. In that moment, I thought of everything that I had been through up until that day and everything that God has done in my life, and I was so preoccupied and complacent to even realize. I had thought of a quote that a friend told me a long time ago, and it said, "I don't want to gain the whole world, but lose my soul." It sounds pretty simple, but those words ran through my mind over and over again that entire day and probably for the next week and a half. And that's really what led me to want to get baptized and rededicate my life to God. I didn't really know how to pray to God as an adult. So I was thinking about a song by Will Reagan. So it says, "I give it all to you, God, trusting that you'll make something beautiful out of me." So that was my prayer, and that's still my prayer today. And that's what led me to want to take the next step and get baptized.